Why do we feel the need to answer every insult, explain every injustice, or defend ourselves to those who've already made up their minds? Why do we believe silence is weakness, when in truth, it's the sharpest weapon of all? And why is it that those who speak the least are often the ones who carry the most power? Welcome to StoicDraft, where ancient wisdom meets modern conflict. Today, we explore 6 moments when the most powerful thing you can do, say nothing at all. 1. When you're betrayed by those closest to you, betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from those we let too close. That's why it cuts deeper. Most people lash out when betrayed. They demand answers, burn bridges, scream justice into the void. But a Stoic knows betrayal punishes itself. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." So when they betray you, don't rage, don't plead, don't perform. Just walk away. Let silence do the sentencing. Eventually, they'll sit alone in the ruins of the trust they destroyed, while you've already moved on too. When someone questions your worth, they'll doubt your value, they'll mock your dreams, they'll try to shrink you down to the size of their own insecurity. Most people defend. They explain, justify, plead. But Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Let them laugh while you build in silence. Let them doubt while you become undeniable. The strongest rebuttal isn't a speech, it's your results. When the results arrive, no one remembers the mockery. 3. When you're insulted. In public disrespect, in public stings the most, because the crowd watches your reaction. They expect fire, expect retaliation. But the Stoic offers something far more dangerous: silence. Seneca wrote, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." If their insult doesn't reach your mind, it cannot reach your peace. When you hold your ground, when you meet mockery with measured stillness, that silence becomes louder than any insult. And it echoes long after the crowd has gone quiet. 4. When life breaks you down, there are seasons where life takes more than it gives. It strips you of strength, of direction, of self. Most people cry out, curse fate, demand answers from the sky. But Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. So when the storm comes, suffer in silence. Not out of shame, but out of mastery. Let life take what it will, because what remains after is the part no force can ever break. The world will witness it, the man who bent but did not shatter. 5. When you're provoked by fools, fools thrive on chaos. They throw bait in the form of insult and watch who bites. If you respond, they win. If you engage, you're dragged down. Epictetus warned, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. You cannot teach a fool with logic. You only reveal your vulnerability. Don't argue with shadows. Let them talk. Let them exhaust themselves on your indifference. That's the humiliation they never expected. 6. When they spread lies about you, nothing spreads faster than a lie, especially when whispered in dark corners by those too weak to confront you. Most men rush to defend. They plead their innocence, drown in explanation. But a Stoic knows, truth needs no defense. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can show me that what I do or think is not right, I will gladly change. I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed." Let them lie, let them smear, let them twist your name, because the truth, consistent, silent, unshaken, always rises. And when it does, the liar will choke on the very weapon he forged. In a world that demands instant reaction, silence is rebellion. Let others scream for attention. Let others chase revenge. We don't fight with noise. We fight with presence, with calm, with quiet command. The world will test us, will answer with restraint, and that restraint will shake them more than any retaliation ever could. If this resonates with you, don't just scroll on like this message. Share it with someone wasting energy on the wrong battles. And subscribe to StoicDraft, where wisdom is our shield and silence our sword. Stay composed. Stay disciplined. Silence isn't absence, it's assertion. When you choose not to respond, you're not ignoring the offense, you're overriding it. You're signaling that your energy is too valuable to be spent on what's beneath you. That is not passivity. I imagine a wildfire started by a careless match, and someone rushing in, pouring more fuel in the name of justice. That's what it looks like when we react to betrayal with rage. The Stoic instead walks away, lets the flame exhaust itself, and builds where the smoke can't reach. When you're insulted, silence creates a void, and in that void, the offender sees themselves. They see how little power they truly hold. They see that their loudest shots land in silence, and it unnerves them. You have not just endured, you've reversed the pressure. You've made them accountable to their own echo. Life will push you to the edge, not to destroy you, but to show you who you are without your defenses. When you suffer without shouting, when you rebuild without applause, and you grow in the dark, you become someone even adversity begins to respect. The fool wants a spectacle. He wants you to dance with him in nonsense, to trade your peace for a pointless point. Don't let him stand in the arena of noise alone. Your silence is not just avoidance, it is dominance. You've outgrown the argument before it even began. Think, a betrayal like a poisoned cup. They offer it hoping you'll drink and destroy yourself, trying to retaliate. But when you set the cup down and walk away, untouched, you've not only saved yourself, you've proven they never had access to your peace in the first place. We often want to clarify ourselves to those who doubt us to prove we are better, stronger, worthy. But the moment you seek to prove your worth to someone who questioned it, you've already handed them control. The Stoic doesn't shout value, he demonstrates it silently, relentlessly, day after day, until even his critics are forced to respect the results. There's a dignity in silence after public humiliation that words can never replicate. When you hold your head steady, when you don't swing back, when you let your stillness answer chaos, people remember that. Because the louder person often wins the moment, but the quiet one owns the memory. When life pushes you to your limit, silence becomes sacred. It's the space where clarity returns. Every man must one day suffer alone, not because the world abandons him, but because no one else can carry his transformation. Suffering in silence isn't about pride. It's about being forged privately so you can stand publicly unshaken. Fools speak to be heard. The wise remain quiet to observe. Every word you don't say to a fool is a piece of your peace you get to keep. And over time, the fool tires of swinging in the dark. That's how you win, not with words, but with presence. Lies are weapons of the desperate, and desperation always reveals itself through volume. Let them talk, let them twist, let them try to rewrite your character. Meanwhile, you walk in alignment with the truth. You honor consistency. And when the dust settles, it's not the liar who's left standing. It's the one who never needed to explain. Every insult, betrayal, rumor, and provocation is a test, not of who they are, but of who you've become. They're reminders that the world will never be short on chaos. But your job is not to fight it. Your job is to rise above it. It's why we stay silent, not to escape confrontation, but to transcend it. A silent man isn't empty. It's full of discipline, vision, and direction. It's too focused to be baited, too grounded to be shaken, too elevated to be touched. The world will keep testing your voice, but sometimes your silence is the only voice they need to hear. And when it's all over, when the chaos calms and the crowd thins, they'll remember not what you shouted, but what you refused to say. Because what you held back carried more weight than anything you could have screamed. That's the legacy of restraint. And that's the real mark of power. This world rewards noise, rewards outrage, rewards the ones who speak first and loudest. But Stoicism rewards something far rarer, the discipline to say nothing and still say everything. It's not about being passive, it's about being precise, knowing exactly when to engage and when to let the universe speak for you. Your silence is not surrender. It is a strategy, declaration that you are no longer accessible to chaos, okay? That you've outgrown the need to explain your evolution to those committed to misunderstanding it. Every moment you choose silence over noise, patience over pride, and presence over reaction. You win a battle most don't even know they're in. So the next time the world tests you, when betrayal, insult, provocation, or lies come your way, ask yourself, does this moment require my words? Or does it require my wisdom? And then answer with silence. If this spoke to you, not your anger, but your higher self, don't just move on like this message. Share it with someone who's trying too hard to be heard by those who will never understand. Okay, and subscribe to StoicDraft, where your power begins the moment your silence becomes intentional. Stay disciplined, stay calm, stay untouchable, stay stoic. Consider this: silence is the space where true identity is revealed, not just to others, but to yourself. It's in silence that you hear your clearest thoughts, test your deepest values, and sharpen your unspoken resolve. You don't need to prove yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You only need to remain loyal to your own standard. Revenge makes you reactive. Silence makes you refined. Tells the world you have nothing to prove and everything to protect. Your peace, your principles, your energy. They are not up for negotiation. They are guarded by silence. That's not weakness, it's Billy Ocean. We live in an age where everyone is broadcasting, but few are listening. Where everyone reacts, but few reflect. Your silence isn't just a countermove. It's a culture shift. It's a rebellion against the noise and a return to the self. That's what Stoicism demands. Not escape, but elevation. Not silence for silence's sake, but silence as strategy, as sovereignty. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is absolutely nothing.